over to you.
All right, so thank you. As mentioned, my name is Tiffany Kolba, and before I get started talking about the Master of Science in Analytics and Modeling program, I just wanted to give you a little bit of information about myself. So I did my PhD in mathematics at Duke University, and then I came to Valpo in fall of 2012. So I've been at Valpo now for 8 years. My research area is in probability and statistics, and I teach a lot of the statistics courses for the analytics and modeling program. Starting this summer, I will be the program director for the analytics and modeling degree. All right, so to give you an overview of the program, all right, so the Analytics and Modeling program focuses on the integration of knowledge and methodologies from mathematics, statistics, and computer science to analyze and solve problems in science, industry, business, government, and other fields. And so the coursework for the AMOD program will come from those three main areas of math, statistics, and computer science. But the courses are really focused on using the skills from those areas and applying them to solve real-world problems. The program also prepares students to deal with increasingly large and complex data sets. So almost all fields these days are becoming more and more data-driven. And so being able to work with these large and complex data sets is really a really key skill to have. Our program also trains students to communicate effectively to both technical and non-technical audiences. So it's not enough to just be really good at the analytics and modeling content, but rather you really need to be able to explain the analytics and modeling procedures and results to a wide range of audiences. And so our program really trains students for that. Some unique features, we have small class sizes and lots of personalized attention. So I'd say that's really the strength of Valpo is the close interaction we have between faculty and students. Our program is fairly affordable, and Monica will talk more about that in her part of the presentation. The program can be completed in 18 months as a full-time student. And so typically that would be 4 terms. So if you started in the fall, you would do fall, spring, summer, fall. Or if you started in the summer, you could actually be done in 15 months. You would do summer, fall, spring, and then summer. There is also an early entry option for Valpo undergrads. And so in the early entry option, you could apply up to 12 credits your senior year. That would double count towards both your undergrad degree and your graduate degree. And so with that early entry option, you can then finish in just 1 extra year. And so Monica will talk more about the early entry admissions procedures in her portion. But I wanted to mention that I did something similar to early entry myself when I was an undergrad. So I did my undergrad at Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore, and there I did a combined BA MA program in mathematics. So during the question part, if you have any questions about what it's like to do a combined undergrad grad program, I'm more than happy to share some of my experiences. All right, so in terms of the background requirements for what we're looking for in a prospective AMOD student, you have to have completed an undergrad degree, and the undergraduate major or minor could be in business, engineering, science, mathematics, statistics, or related field. And so you can see that's quite broad, and so we're really not too picky about what your undergrad degree is in. What we do look at a little bit more closely is your coursework. And so we're looking for students who have taken at least 1 calculus course, a linear algebra course, an introductory statistics course, and at least 1 computer science or programming course. Now, if you're interested in the AMOD program and are missing 1 or 2 of those courses, I would still definitely encourage you to apply. We can look carefully at your application, and if it looks like you'd be a good fit for the program and are just missing 1 or 2 of the background courses, you could take the background courses during your first semester as a graduate student. All right, so in terms of the specific curriculum, the AMOD degree requires 36 credits. And so most of our courses are 3 credits each, and so that would be typically 12 courses for the AMOD program. And so as I mentioned before, it's typically done over 4 terms, so a typical full-time student would take 3 courses a term for 4 terms. So the core requirements consist of 5 courses. So 5 courses. So there's a data mining course, a simulation and modeling course, an ethics course, information management, and then an option between applied econometrics and statistics for decision making. And I would say between those two courses, the content is very similar. Both cover key statistical analysis methods, but the applied econometrics course is looking specifically at economics applications, whereas the statistics for decision making is what more general, looks at a wide range of applications. I personally teach Stat 540 almost every semester, so I'd be happy to give you any more information you're curious about that course. And that's really a good course to start the analytics and modeling program with. All right, so there's also a core application course required. And the idea of this core application course is that you're looking at specifically applying the analytics and modeling skills to a certain field. And so there are quite a few options listed here. I would say that in the past, the most popular option has been Math 521, Mathematical Models of Infectious Disease. And I think that elective choice will probably become even more popular with the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. A lot of the skills covered in that course would be used to model something such as coronavirus. All right, then we also require a capstone experience for the analytics and modeling degree. And so typically the capstone experience will be done as either a 3-credit internship or a 3-credit research project. For students who are interested in perhaps pursuing a PhD program after the master's degree, there's also a thesis option. But the most recommended option we suggest here for the capstone experience would be the internship. And we really work hard to try to place our students with a paid internship opportunity when possible. So I just wanted to give you some examples of past internships so you have a little bit more idea of what that might look like for the analytics and modeling program. So one recent analytics and modeling student did an internship at the Northwest Indiana Regional Planning Commission. That is a local government organization. And the student worked with that organization to analyze transportation data from the Northwest Indiana region. Another recent internship was at the U.S. Geological Survey, or USGS, and the student worked with the USGS to redesign their website to create a new user interface for accessing their geological data and created data visualizations for the website. So again, we usually encourage internships, but we also have students do research projects on a regular basis. And so to give you an example of research project, we had a student recently model RNA binding proteins with a Valpo faculty member. All right, so then to finish the AMOD curriculum, there are 15 credits of electives. And so you can see that there's really a wide range of elective courses to choose from. And we try to advise students to choose electives based upon what their future career plans might be. As I mentioned earlier, I personally teach a lot of the statistics courses from the elective list. We also have on the slide a testimonial from a recent analytics and modeling graduate. So Ed Orlando graduated from the program in 2016. And he said, "What makes Valpo great is the commitment of the faculty and the desire to make you better, both in the classroom and in the professional world. Valpo has an unbelievably advanced and sophisticated network of professors who teach the skills that are desired in today's workforce. The small class sizes allowed for great conversations to occur during class and also allowed for direct access to professors." And I think that quote really does embody a lot of what would make the Valpo AMOD program a great option to consider. All right, so beyond the curriculum, we really try to provide as many additional activities as possible for the graduate students to just better prepare them for their future careers. And so we do provide travel funding to attend conferences. And so some recent conferences where we've taken graduate students to was the Tufte workshop on data visualization in Chicago. I personally attended that workshop along with 4 of our analytics and modeling graduate students. And if you haven't heard of Tufte before, I encourage you to Google him. Tufte is really one of the current leaders in the field of data visualization. And that workshop was really, I think, a great professional development experience for all who attended. We also take students each year to the ASA Data Fest. So ASA is the American Statistical Association. And the Data Fest, if you haven't heard of a Data Fest before, it's basically a multi-day data competition. And so there's different groups from all around the country, and they're presented with a data set and a research question. And so students work in groups to analyze the data and try to answer the research question to the best of their ability. And so our 2019 team, which is pictured on that slide, actually won the award for Best Data Insight at the Data Fest last year. All right, so I'm happy at this time to take any questions you have specifically about the program. Monica will be talking more about like admissions procedures and costs, so you can save questions about that for her. But if you have any, again, specific about the program, I'm happy to take those at this time. And if you can't think of any now, that's fine. My email address is listed there. And so you're more than welcome to email me and I can answer questions through email. Or I can also answer questions at the end after Monica talks if you think of any about the program then.
Thank you so much, Tiffany. And I also think what's great is this is going to be recorded, like I mentioned, and put on our YouTube channel if you ever want to go back and look over the curriculum. I can also send you a one-pager, and Tiffany's more than happy to answer any of your questions regarding the program. So we're here past this webinar, so feel free to reach out to us at any time. At the graduate school, we are a small office, but we take pride in the communication that we're able to do with our prospective students and our current students. We currently have 5 or 6 staff members currently at the graduate school. We put the main graduate school email for any documents that you may need to submit to us, especially official documents. If you are currently applying to the university, we prefer that you send them to the general email because we do have several staff members monitoring that every day. Also, general questions can go to myself or the graduate school. Because we are currently out of the office, I do check our voice messages at least 4 times a day, but if you would like to reach out to me directly, I put my email here as well. We have Ryan Segali, who is currently the Director of Graduate Enrollment Operations, myself, who is Assistant Director of Graduate Admissions, and we make up the admissions staff. Any questions related to the admissions process, application updates, status, just wanting to get updates if you've had a lot of recommendation come in, early entry students. I've had a lot of undergraduate students wanting to come to me for questions regarding how the application processing will work in that regards. We also have Marsha Gearhart. She's also the administrative assistant to the dean. Jessica Segali and Stephanie Kincaid are part of the academic and student services team. So Jessica Segali is the Assistant Director of Academic and Student Services, and Stephanie Kincaid is Assistant Director of Student Services. So they will work with you more on the student end, and you'll start seeing communication from Ryan and myself start fading once you become a student, and you'll start seeing communication from Jessica and Stephanie once you become a student. So if you have any questions on who to contact, if you're in the middle stages of onboarding, I will be happy to direct you to the appropriate contact. Just a general overview of Valparaiso University in general. We were founded in the 1800s. While the graduate school was founded in the 60s, we do have a rich history. We also have a campus of about 350 acres. I love walking around in the summertime and the springtime. I hope that you get the opportunity to do so as well. One thing that we're hoping to do in the fall, if you have any questions on scheduling a campus visit and we reopen, feel free to email me. I'd be happy to walk you around the main campus buildings that I think would be of benefit to you. We have over 60 buildings, but also as a graduate student, you won't be walking around as much like an undergraduate student would, but I do think that we do have some special buildings like our Christopher Center, the VUCA, the Union, our chapel, and also main buildings that would reside within your department that I think would be of benefit to you, which is why I prefer once all of this hopefully gets back to normal or somewhat normal, we can go ahead and do a campus visit. We have around 4,000 students that comprise the entire campus. I find that we do take pride in the intimate setting of each classroom. You'll get to know a lot of your cohorts, professors. You'll see similar faces, which is really nice, especially once you become a graduate student. We do represent over 40 nations within undergraduate and graduate studies. We're 29% multicultural, and we roughly have around 270 full-time faculty, and 85% of those holding full PhDs or terminal degrees. In regard to the graduate school, like I mentioned, we were established in the 60s, and we have nearly 500 students, making up both from international and domestic. We have 20 countries that are represented and over 40 graduate and certificate offerings. We try to make sure that we are always providing marketable programs and are constantly updating. We just added a trauma-informed care certificate, so we're always making sure that we're providing up-to-date programs that make you marketable in the workplace. We take pride in our accreditations and affiliations, and these are some that we have for all of our programs. And we also have a commitment to excellence. We just got an update for our 2020, but these are some of the best awards that we received in the past year. Some things that make Valparaiso different is really the quality of education that you're receiving. Our program directors and our faculty really take pride in the programs that they are offering. We try to provide professional programs, so all the work that you are doing is really gearing you to your professional goals. We really want to make sure that the education you're receiving is more professional rather than just busy work. So that's something that a lot of our professors will emphasize, is that every assignment, every task they assign you to do is really to prepare you for your professional goals in the future. We provide academic and classroom support as well as advising support. We also are hosting a symposium coming up, and we really try to feature graduate research. We take pride in the research that is being showcased, and we really try to make sure that anyone presenting is doing top quality research based on the program that they are currently doing. So if you are interested, it is open to the public, and I can provide you more information regarding that. It is coming up, and it is virtual, so that's going to be really exciting. We also offer the Graduate Student Advisory Council. It's a council dedicated to graduate students to advocate for their fellow graduate students. They get to meet regularly, either remotely or in person, and it's just a way for you to be able to advocate, offer suggestions for the future of the graduate school. We offer social events. These are more intimate events than what you may be used to as an undergraduate student, and we really like to immerse our students from different programs in these social events. So whether it's our barbecue that we try to host every fall, we hope to do that still this fall, or dean's reception, commencement banquet, we try to get our students involved as much as possible. We know that you're working adults for the most part, or have other familial or personal obligations, but we really try to make sure to involve you in the graduate school throughout the year. We also offer the graduate banquet, which is towards the end of the year, just celebrating your achievements. And then we offer our orientation, which if you are currently admitted and have either received orientation information or are looking to get your application process, you will be receiving that information soon. So for all my Valpo undergrad students, this is for you. We offer an early entry degree option. I find that this is such a great option because it's not only time saving, but also cost saving. The early entry degree programs are listed down below. And you really have the opportunity to take up to 12 credits of graduate courses while still in your undergraduate program. And so how it works is I get undergraduate students that are a little bit concerned. They're currently under a scholarship and they're wondering, how is it going to work me taking graduate courses while I'm still an undergrad? Will my scholarship be affected at all? And you're not going to matriculate into graduate school until you actually finish your undergraduate studies. But this is going to give you an opportunity to take graduate level coursework while still an undergrad and have it count for both. So it's a really great opportunity if you are a junior and want to talk to your advisor. That is the first step. The second step would really be to email me, so that way I can give you information and know where in the process you are. We have an application that we have specifically for our early entry degree students. And I created an arrow to give you just a simple way of how we how it works, because I know it could get a little bit confusing. When am I considered a graduate student? How am I considered an undergraduate student? How will this work? I also have a list more into detail that'll give you steps on what to do. It's a little bit easier for you to manage. I can send that to you via email. But this is just a really simple way for you to get an understanding of how the early entry degree process will work. First, you want to apply to the graduate school. You want to make sure to select early entry. You'll want to meet with your advisor to make sure everything looks good on your end. And then we complete an early entry worksheet. We send that to the registrar because we want to make sure that you're receiving credit for both undergraduate and graduate studies. You complete your undergraduate degree like normal, and then you confirm your intent to enroll into the graduate school, and then you matriculate into the graduate program. Here we have Karina. She was one of our early entry students that actually graduated a few years back. She enrolled as a dual enrolled student. And what I love about her is that she was able to manage her undergraduate degree, her graduate degree, and also be really involved on campus. So if you ever need someone to talk to as a mentor, as someone who's gone through the program, I'm happy to provide you her contact information. She'll be happy to provide you more details from a student's perspective. Here are the admissions requirements for U.S. applicants. We always ask that you complete an admissions profile first. That is listed online. So if you go to the main Valpo page, valpo.edu, and select apply, towards the bottom you'll find general graduate school application. And from there you'll see the admissions requirements and the link to apply. Some students get a little bit confused thinking they have to submit all items prior to submitting their application form, but we actually prefer that you submit your application form first so you can create a portal for yourself. The portal will then guide you to your other items that we require, and also give you an upload option for you to upload your reflective essay and your letters of recommendation. And your application fee is waived, especially if you've participated in this webinar, any visits. Just feel free to email me after you've completed your application profile, and I will be happy to waive that for you. We're requiring a reflective essay for all programs. This is just really for the program director, for the admissions team to get to know you more as an applicant, just knowing what your goals are. This is also another way for us to double check that you're applying for the right program. Sometimes we have students that have a different intention, but they've applied to maybe a program by accident, or maybe they just don't realize that there's another program that may fit their needs more. So this is a good way for us to take note of that. We also require 2 letters of recommendation, and those are listed in your portal. So we'll have a form for you where you can put their emails, and we do it on your behalf. All they have to do is complete the form, and then they send it back to us. The only unfortunate part is in your portal, you can't see who actually submitted it, but feel free to email me, and I can let you know if John Smith submitted and you're just waiting on someone else. This would give you a way to follow up with that second recommendation, so that way you can get your application completed in time. We offer the option for you to submit official or non-official transcripts, but just know that we will require official transcripts prior to registering for courses. During this time, we understand it could be difficult to find official transcripts to be sent, or you don't want the application process to be delayed. We will accept unofficial, but official documents will be required prior to orientation or class registration. We have separate requirements for international applicants. The application fee and profile are still the same. Same for the reflective essay and for the letters of recommendation. One thing we do like for you to know in the reflective essay is why you want to study in the United States, why Valpo, why the program. We really want to make sure that, again, we're double checking and you're applying for the appropriate program and your goals align with the cohort that is coming in for each program. We do require official transcripts, and then we do ask that they come in English and original forms. English language proficiency is also required, and we have more details on that on our website. So we have links and scores as to what is provided and required for each IELTS, TOEFL, PTE. We also accept ESL. But if you have questions regarding what score is eligible, we have that listed on our site, and I'll be happy to send that for you too. We do require proof of financial support, and this document is not really just for us, but it's also required for us in order to send your I-20. Currently, again, due to the current state of the pandemic, some students are finding difficulty obtaining these documents. We will waive the requirements and you can still get an admissions decision, but just know that it's still going to be required in order for you to obtain your I-20 and your visa. So even though we're waiving it per se for the time being for you to get an admissions decision, we still need it in order for us to send over the I-20. So that's going to be really important. We'll also need a copy of your passport, so feel free to take a picture of it on your cell phone and send it over to me directly or the graduate school page. You can scan it, but we will need that as a copy. Just to give you an idea of the application process and how it works, sometimes it could seem like it may take a little bit longer than you're wanting to, but there's a lot of things that happen towards the back end of our side in order for an application to have a decision. So the first thing that we require is a completed application. Sometimes we have students assuming their application's completed just through the form, but we'll need all documents in order to move it forward for a decision. So if you're seeing one X in your check mark, that's not check marked in your portal, that means that your application is not complete. We'll need all green check marks in order for us to move it forward through processing. Again, if you have any concerns regarding any documents that you're not able to obtain during this time, feel free to email me and we'll make a decision whether we can waive that just for the time being, or we'll still need at least an unofficial copy of something. The admissions review process first goes through the admissions team. We want to make sure that everything looks good, and then we send it over to the program director. The program director is probably the one that's going to take the most time reviewing your application. They're going to look at your credits, they're going to look at your scores, your reflective essay, your letters of recommendation. They want to make sure that you're a good candidate for the program. Then it gets sent over to the dean for a final run through and review, and then we send over the offer letter. The offer letter is going to come first through email. So if you have any questions, whether there's any hesitation, we send an email right away letting you know of our decision, which is really nice. We also mail letters to you, but know that if you've already received an email, you can anticipate what that's going to say in your mailed letter acceptance. The next step is once you've gone through the process of going through your options for schools, or you know that Valpo is going to be your #1 choice, we'd like for you to confirm your intent to enroll. That's a simple process. We add those towards the end in your portal as well, so it's going to be more of a checklist item that you need to do once you are admitted. And all that we ask is for you to say yes or no, letting us know either way, so that we can either cancel your application, defer, or accept, and know that you are anticipating to enroll for this upcoming term. The next step is registration orientation, and you'll get communication more from Jessica and Stephanie, who are part of our admissions student services team. So if you start seeing the shift from staff members, it's going to happen towards that time. One thing that Tiffany did mention is affordability. And as you can see here, we try to keep our credit hour to $6.50. The only change is for any nursing and health profession fields, but if you're interested in analytics and modeling, it's going to stay $6.50, and it's at 36 credit hours to anticipate with fees, which I listed down below if you plan to be part-time or full-time, to be under $25,000, which is really affordable, especially within the Chicagoland area, and considering that we are a private institution. So that's something that you can always screenshot. I can always send you some more details as to the breakdown per semester, but we like to break it down per credit hour if you're considering whether if you want to go part-time or full-time. If you have any questions regarding financial aid, we do have FAFSA that you would need to complete if you are a domestic student, and the maximum federal unsubsidized loan currently is at $20,500 for the year. Any questions regarding financial aid process or how to budget that within your specific, say you have any budgeting in mind that you need to account for childcare or living expenses, or if you're only planning on having half of it covered and you need to have a specific plan in place for you, I would reach out to the Office of Financial Aid. They can be reached at finaid@valpo.edu. We are currently still out of the office, so I recommend email more than phone currently at this time. We are figuring out when we will be able to return back on campus. But if you have any questions, especially if they include any specific information regarding your financial status, I would reach out to them via email first. Also, follow us on social media. We have a Facebook page and Instagram page where we like to update you if we have any social events that we host. We like to post pictures of our current students. Right now, we are posting any upcoming webinars or things that you should look forward to, any deadlines that you should keep in mind. If you have any questions and you want to reach out to us via direct message or messenger, you can do that as well.